off the ball faster. You need to be able to knock the ball off the ball, and that's one thing as an offensive line you want to do, and that's what we've been really working on because we're good at that. Like, we can do that, and that's what we need to be able to show them, convert that from practice to the game.
Kyler, how do you think you did last week? Coach Shannon was pretty pleased overall with the line.
I mean, I think I did all right, but I mean, the overall team is we lost, and that's what we got to focus on. And but after the loss, you got to learn from it, watch the film. It sucked because we got a good team, and I don't think we got to show how good we really were. But now we're focusing on Pittsburgh, and that's what we're all focused on, learning about their defense, how we're going to attack it. And so on, that's all we can focus on now.
When a mistake is made, an interception is thrown, even if it's not your fault or whatever, as far as the line, do you guys take it personally that way or not?
Not at all. You gotta play the next play. That's like the biggest rule in football. You gotta play the next play. You can't focus on the past, or you're never gonna be able to move on to the future. And so no, it doesn't affect us personally. We go to the bench, talk it through, go back out there, and try to make the correction and score my touchdown.
Tyler, I apologize. I was talking with Coach when you began. So if you were asked this, I'm sorry. But Jacory yesterday said that he's going to start trying not to be the leader of it all, and just letting certain guys worry about certain groups. He specifically cited you as far as the offensive line. What does that mean to you that the quarterback has that much confidence in you that he can call you a leader of that unit?
Well, it means a lot. It's a great compliment coming from a guy like Jacory because he's kind of the face of this program. He's our leader. I look to him. He looks to me. We kind of carry each other, and he's got a lot of playmakers, so he can do that. He can rely on Travis or Hank or Orlando or me or the running backs to carry this team every once in a while. I mean, he has a lot on his shoulders as the quarterback of this team, and as the quarterback, he's supposed to be the leader, and he's taking that role and he's run with it. But every once in a while, people need help.
Is it a good sign? Orlando's been called a leader. Fig's been called a leader. Now you're being called a leader. I mean, it's pretty close to the line, obviously, right there. Is that pretty much a good sign when there's that many people in that?
I think so, but we got some old guys in the line. We got 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and Brandon Washington's a sophomore, but he's been around here. And so, I mean, we got some guys who've been on the program, been through the summers working out. Like, when you're here a long time, people will start to look at you as for leadership, and it's about time that we did start having some leadership like that.
He seemed kind of, Jacory, seemed kind of critical of himself yesterday, and he was, with what Tim was saying, he was saying that maybe he was too hard, kind of. He has to stop worrying about everybody else and yelling at everybody else and telling everybody else what to do. He has to focus on himself. Did you get that idea that?
Well, I mean, he's hard on himself. He's harder on himself than anyone on this team or any of this coaching staff, and so he's going to be extra critical of himself. And he wants to perform. He wants to be the best there is, and so he works so hard. And so when he has a game where he doesn't do as well as he wants, he takes it pretty hard. But the great thing about Jacory is he has that character. He always bounces back. He's been uplifting and stuff, just on the field, getting everyone going on, bouncing around, having fun. And that's just Jacory, and he's going to lead this team. Like he's our leader, and yeah, he can look to us to help out. But at the end of the day, he's our guy, and we're going to support him 100%.
2 games so far. How much have you learned personally?
I've learned a lot. I mean, it's the one thing I haven't had is game experience. So I knew when I got to the game it was going to take maybe a couple snaps before I got acclimated to the environment. But now I'm feeling good. I won against a really good defense last week in Ohio State, and I've learned a lot. So you can only build up from there.
Tyler, what kind of maybe a couple of procedure things? Penalties haven't been a real big problem for the offense. Was that a real? I mean, it's always a point of emphasis, but do you think that was hammered even more this year?
Well, I mean, you can't get penalties. Penalties kill drives. I mean, you get into the red zone, all of a sudden get a holding penalty. It's 1st and 20, and so that kills the drive. So that's one thing you preach about your technique. You don't. Like I say, you don't want to get a holding call because it hurts the team. You don't want to jump offside because that hurts the team. And if you kill a drive, all of a sudden, a touchdown play turns into a field goal. And so that's just a big deal. You always preach that.
Tyler, 3 road games in a row. That's really tough for anybody, and they're all good teams. What have you learned so far from Ohio State playing on the road, and what do you think about that 3 in a row thing?
Well, I mean, it's just a challenge that we got to take on. We're not going to run from them. We're going to go up there and we're trying to beat those teams. And one thing I learned from Ohio State was communication. It's going to be loud. People are not going to be cheering for you, and I got to be able to make my calls to the offensive linemen and tell them what to do, and be loud. And so that's probably the biggest thing I've learned so far, playing in an away stadium, especially one like the Horseshoe where you got, 105,000 people screaming at you.
Did you watch the Clemson game? I want to know if you watched the Clemson game at all, and what obviously they're a good team, because that's a pretty tough place. I've been there. What have you heard about that in Clemson?
Oh, I've heard, Death Valley. I've heard it's pretty loud. I talked to older guys who played there a couple of years ago. I think when it was like Kenny Phillips and them freshman year. That game, I heard it was loud, but it's not impossible. We can go up there and win, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Last question. What kind of challenge?
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I just want to ask the kind of challenge that the Pitt defensive front gives you, because they're missing Romeus, but I mean, how tough are they?
I mean, they're real good. They're real big, strong, fast. I mean, they're a good defensive front. They led the country in sacks last year, and so we look at this as another challenge for us to go up there and prove how good we really are.
How did this team's confidence grow out of a loss? Because that's kind of what everybody's pretty much been saying, that we know what we have now. We know we're a good team.
And that's exactly right. We know what we have. We know how good we are. We have a lot of really, really good players, a lot of really good weapons on this offense, and a lot of good playmakers on that defense. And it's just it was just one of those games. And but we're excited about playing Pitt now. That's all we're focused on, and we're going to go up there and we're going to play our best.
All right.